Today we're checking out my Marshall JCM2000. So, I'm going to talk to you about how I get my JCM2000 to do metal in my metalcore band A Day on Earth. It's actually a great amp for this genre of music if you have it going to the right speakers. In my cabinet, my speaker cabinet, it's an older JCM800 1968 cabinet from the early 80s, I believe. But it has English-made Celestion vintage 30s in it, 16 ohm. And they are amazing sounding with this amp. They sound great. What makes this amp so special to me, though, is the fact that it's got this really good, I like the kind of tone I like. It's kind of a fizzy tone, but not really, just kind of fuzzy and high gain and biting, but not like mid-rangey, kind of honky like some of those EVH and PV amps are. I don't really care for that. I know a lot of people in my genre love those amps, and to be honest, every single one I played through I just don't care for. I'm not a big fan of it. But I stumbled upon this from a buddy of mine. He had it, and I liked it so much, I was about to go on tour, and I asked him, can I borrow that on tour? He goes, sure. That entire tour, I just fell in love with the thing. I loved it so much, and ended up buying it from him. But it is just run-of-the-mill. I think it's 2005 JCM2000. Dual super lead. Very simple, 2 channels. Your classic gain channel, your ultra gain channel, as Marshall calls them. It's really just a clean distortion channel. There's like 2 modes on each channel. There's a just your classic clean sound on the clean channel, then there's a button you can press for crunch, and it's supposed to be like a plexi style crunch. And then the distortion channel has lead 1, which is kind of like a more open, early JCM800 kind of tone, like more heavy, more gain than a plexi or something like that, but less than like a modern day Nessa Boogie or something like that. This amp basically has every single Marshall sound you could ever want in one amp. And then lead 2 is just, it's high gain, setting that it has. I think it's kind of more of like a JCM900 setting. But then there's this tone shift knob, or button, sorry, you can push in that brings out a different tone out of the amp. That's what I use, actually. And it cuts some mids out, but Marshalls are so mid-rangey anyway. It's actually a good button to hit, I suggest. The deep switch I keep out because it's that's the one flaw in this amp. The deep switch is very boomy. If you hit it in, it's just all bass, all low end, and it's not the best sounding. But I run this amp through mid 80s or early 80s, somewhere in there. JCM2000 1968 cabinet, but instead of this one should have had the Celestion 65 watts in it, but instead of that it has the or the T65s. Instead of that it has the English-made Celestion vintage 30s in it, and they sound amazing. And that's what you heard in that demo track. But I'm gonna play through it again. All I'm using is just my Ibanez guitar that you've probably seen on the channel before, with active pickups in it, Seymour Duncan's, and the only thing that's in the signal chain of the amp is in the effects loop. I have a ISP Decimator noise gate. That's all it is. No tube screamer, no nothing, and this is what you get. I mean, it's exactly, does everything I need it to do. There's no reason to follow the bandwagon of getting a 5150 or 6505 or a NESA dual rectifier or something like that. Those amps are good. I don't particularly like the sound of them as much as this, but if you find an amp that you really like, there's no reason to change what you have just to fit in with the rest. In fact, I like having this because it stands out. It's different than anything else I've heard in my genre of music. It's its own thing, and it's been on my band's last record. It's been on that. It's all the guitar tones are run through this amp, and in fact, this whole setup actually, and it's everything I need. But you just heard my distortion sound. I'll play you my clean sound now, which is amazingly a huge difference in tone. It's just the same amp, but you can barely believe it. And I also got the reverb cranked all the way up on it, because its reverb isn't that strong anyway. But yeah, that's what I use from metalcore, and it works fine for me. That's about it. That's the amp. I hope you liked it. If you want to see my entire live rig, pedal board, and everything, comment below and I'll make a video about that as soon as I can. But I love this thing. If you have any more questions, also, you can just leave me a comment and I'll try to answer for you. Hope you enjoyed it. See you guys next time. Bye.